Welcome to the quick overview of the grid, ruler, and snapping features. In the page editor, we always display a horizontal and vertical ruler to assist with alignment. These rulers only measure in inches, and the zero mark begins after the bleed area to ensure precise alignment. Let's begin by choosing an image. Do you see the gray rectangle on the ruler? It marks the position and size of the selected object. Now, if we move the image, you'll notice the gray rectangle on the ruler moves too, indicating the object's new position and size. When we rotate an object, the dimensions of the gray rectangle change accordingly. If we add another object to our selection, the ruler will display all selected items' total combined width and height. To access all grid and snapping options, click on the Settings tab. The Nudge Distance feature enables you to move selected objects by a precise distance using the arrow keys with the radio buttons based on the values you've chosen. For example, selecting half an inch and using any arrow keys to move an object is very helpful for quick and precise adjustments. Next, let's activate the grid by toggling the Show Grid switch. The grid will overlay on every object displayed on the page, ensuring it is always visible. However, its visibility can vary depending on your content, such as an image or background that makes it barely noticeable. To change the grid color, click the Grid Color tile. This will open the color dialog, where you can select your preferred color. Feel free to adjust the opacity as well, which can further tailor the grid to your needs. Now, let's activate the Snap to Grid feature by toggling its switch. This ensures that objects align with the grid during movement or resizing. Select an image and move it to see the snapping effect in action. When you resize the image, its width and height will also snap to the grid, ensuring perfect dimensions every time. With Snap to Grid enabled, the arrow keys will move the object according to the grid's spacing. Regarding spacing, you have control over this as well. For example, changing the spacing to half an inch or 0.5 in the Edit field will adjust the grid accordingly. A helpful tip is that holding the Shift key will turn off the snapping feature altogether while moving or resizing. This is an essential feature because sometimes you may want to adjust something without any snapping to interfere. It's important to mention that in this mode, object snapping is disabled, but snapping to page edges and safe margins remains active. Let's turn off Snap to Grid by clicking the switch again, as I want to demonstrate the default snapping feature. When I select an object and move it close to another object, it will snap to it, allowing you to quickly create specific layouts. Again, in this mode, holding the Shift key while moving an object will disable the snapping feature. Lastly, everything shown in this tutorial also applies to shapes, text, and clip arts. These features are designed to simplify your editing process. Happy designing!